Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are. Let's continue our journey through this game, shall we? Menu music still hitting hard as fuck. You know what? I really, really like this music. I just wish they would have gone for like a longer loop. Because it's about, I don't know, like a minute? Or not even that. It's definitely really short. And hearing it over and over, I mean, usually you probably wouldn't stick around in this menu for so long or something, but yeah. I wish this loop would be a bit more, I don't know, a bit less, I guess, invading on your senses. As good as the music is, but yeah, let's maybe get into it so that we aren't blasted by this music the entire time. Oh yeah, sure, you have to do that every time for some reason. Alright. So technically I played for 2 hours 40 minutes apparently. Because it doesn't count character creation, I'd imagine. Ooh, wow. What was that loading screen? Interesting. So, one thing that I quickly wanted to get at is that I actually grabbed a notebook for this, right? And I quickly jumped into Epic Namebro's stream yesterday after Raid and just watched, well, essentially the first sort of introductory cutscene again. He had some, not so nice words to say about it, and I can get behind that. I do think that the storytelling so far has been fairly poor. It's really intriguing and interesting, don't get me wrong. It's just, well, you essentially get a big info dump at the beginning, right? With all these words that you have no way of understanding in any sort of capacity, right? Because, well, if you've never seen the game, you don't know anything about it. And then, well, they drop you in and don't tell you anything anymore, right? At least, well, partially. But yeah, there were a few interesting tidbits here and there, and I definitely plan on sort of, well, I'm going to try and piece together the story, and I'm going to pause here and there to make notes on items that we find, places that we visit, things like that, right? To then be able to talk about it a bit more. So one thing that yesterday didn't really touch that much upon is these statues that are standing all the way around, and also that built up the summoning pools, for example, are Queen Marika, the Eternal. Which was mentioned in the beginning, and so apparently people are looking for her, or she wasn't here for a long time, and well, her offspring was apparently the problem. There is a lot of stuff that we just don't know yet. Are the Tarnished that have risen now after the Great War, are they her offspring? But why would they rise again, right? So there's all kinds of questions that we have, but again, I have a notebook here, I'm just gonna take some notes here and there, so please excuse me if I'm, stopping for like a moment to write things down, because I do really want to get into the story. I don't know how good the storytelling is going to be. I do think that, at least from what I've seen so far, which is obviously not much, FromSoft has made great strides into a couple of directions in terms of how they're building up their game, but they're also doing some weird stuff as well. One of the weirdest things so far for sure is how the beginning ends, which is something I didn't really touch upon that much yesterday either, but watching Epic Namebro go through like the first area, so I didn't want to get spoiled, but obviously I knew that area already. So I did watch that with the Chapel of Anticipation, where you go to the first boss. And he doesn't even die to it. And I think I didn't die either. It's just that you get hit by it and it just goes, the screen just fades to black and then plays the sound of you being thrown into the water. Which is just weird. I don't know why they decided to do that. Why is there no, like, at least a small cutscene that shows you being thrown off of the cliff? Because that's the implication here, right? You're thrown off the cliff, and then I guess the water just sort of takes you to this gravesite that you then start the game at. Because you can see both places, right? When you venture out from here, right? The chapel that you actually start at is somewhere over there. This general direction behind that huge castle, right? It's to the left of it. So, yeah, I was slightly confused when I saw it back. Because, I mean, I was also confused when it happened to me, because it's, I don't know, it's such a weird transition, almost like there's some sort of missing cutscene. I thought it was kind of weird. The next cutscene is really cool, though, with the some sort of maiden. Maybe the maiden that'll... Because we are maidenless currently, is what the other NPC talked about. So I wonder, you know, where that sort of goes, and... Yeah, I don't know. The introductory cutscene is pretty great, although in terms of storytelling, not really. And then the game just doesn't... It stops storytelling completely, in a way. But we'll see about that, right? That's hopefully... that's hopefully going to be... You know, something that we'll figure out as time goes on, hopefully. And then there's characters like this, right? I mean, in a way, an outfit like this, probably in medieval times, wouldn't have been too uncommon. I mean, not specifically like that, right? But there were certainly strong choices being made, let's say that, in terms of fashion. Because it was mostly about sort of the practicality of it, or, you know, certain other bits and pieces. But we'll see. Let's get into this. We did a lot of sort of tutorial stuff yesterday. There was a lot of things that I looked at in terms of, well, how things work, right? We managed to find the smithing table here. We talked to him. We also got our first, like, we got the crafting kit ready. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. One thing I have to admit that I'm not really a fan of so far is them sort of having these very clear indicators of where you're supposed to go. You know, this is almost a quest marker, or it could literally be one, to be completely honest. And I don't think the game needs that. Especially since you have a map. If the NPCs would just tell you where to go and sort of point you in the general direction or something. I mean, wouldn't it have been like a lot cooler if that guy would just sort of quickly stand up and point in that direction and say, oh yeah, you know, look over there. There's something you should probably check out. Instead of having this. I mean, yeah, in lore it might have some sort of meaning, right? Did we actually hear that much about sort of grace and what it means? I mean, we have this, right? The memory of first grace, which once guided bygone tarnish to the lands between. But we are in the lands between, right? So why does it suddenly guide us? And then we don't really have... I feel like we had a bit more information about grace and what it means. But I'm not quite so sure anymore. It might have been somewhere else, because I don't necessarily think that it was here. It's also, well, this is certainly interesting, right? This is bestowed by Finger Maiden. But I thought we were maidenless. I mean, that's what the NPC said, right? So, what does that mean? Were we not maidenless in the past? Oh, right. I bought the torch yesterday. And I didn't, wait, check one thing. So it still says medium load. So I suspect that there's probably light load, medium load, heavy load. And depending on that, it's determining your roll. Because I think when I watched Epic Name Roll, he had a faster roll than this. Although I might be mistaken on that. We'll see, I guess. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted. Oopsie. Wait. Oh, oops. I put the torch in my right hand. Wait, I thought you can... Never mind, I want to do this... I need to do this differently. I want to have it here. Okay. Because I think... Yeah, if you have it in the left hand, you can hold it up. And, well, technically this should burn forever, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's start this thing. Yeah, with the grace, that's definitely something that I kind of need to figure out, right? We don't really know what it is. Apparently, it's connected to sort of memories. Why is it also... I mean, technically, if we look at it, right, the thing that it's standing upon could be tree bark or something, right? Almost as if, like, the giant tree maybe builds up these small places. You know, these grow out of the ground, maybe at places where something of importance happened at some point. Yeah. Guess we'll see about that. So let's finally venture out into the unknown. There's still this big horse guy over here somewhere, but I don't think that I'm able or capable of fighting him right now. Or maybe I am, but it would probably be fairly difficult. There is a dude over there, though, that looks like a normal enemy. Oh, there's another one. So they're patrolling, is, I guess, the implication here? Why, though? I mean, we've seen these guys all the way through the tutorial, right? Ooh, I really like that. I really like how he's sort of not really sure whether or not he should attack me, right? Okay, I also want to find out, so we've seen crests. Let's write that down, enemy crest. A green tree plus red lion. Technically it's a golden line on red, right? But I want to know what this is about. So is he sort of part of... They don't wear masks, right? They're sort of dead? Hollow? I don't know. It's interesting to me, they look sort of hollow in a way, or definitely dead, or undead, whatever you want to call it. But the NPC that we met at the first site of Grace instead wore a mask that looked like this. I don't know what the connection might be there. And yeah, these are maybe patrolling guards of whatever kingdom we're in here, but we're in the lands between, so does this even belong to anything? Are they tarnished that once were ruled by Queen Marika and now they're sort of roaming aimlessly, or what's their purpose, right? Seems kind of hard to tell right now. Also, since this road is leading in the general direction we want to go in, I guess this is probably something that we want to do. Oh, and now you can actually see the statue on top of that grace a bit better. It's missing its head, right? From below, the whole thing, the building as well, looked very almost new, right? Or very, very well kept in shape, I guess, compared to most of the ruins that we can see. But it is missing its head. And I was speculating about that yesterday as well with the sort of female statues that looked like nuns or something similar. Most of them were missing their hands, which I don't know if that's maybe a reference to the fingers that we found. So maybe that's done on purpose to make it seem like we like maybe that's some sort of ritual, or the thinking there might be if we're taking their hands, then we can use these hands to pass on messages to the future, essentially, right? Might be a thought behind that. And also, I do want to reread these runes, golden runes. You can find quite a lot of them. Grace that dwells within the inhabitants of the lands between, the lingering trace of gold. So we had a few informations about gold. Gold seems to be a running theme, definitely, right? There was Godwyn the Golden. There is a gold mask. Obviously, yeah, the crests are golden as well. And there is something about the Golden Order. And grace is gold, right? Runes and nourishment for the development of any tarnished. Yeah, still don't really know what that might mean. Also, what's the implication here with these skulls just lying about, right? He's just sitting there. Is that an NPC or an enemy? Oh wait, there's another one. Well, these look like enemies, probably. I guess they're here to patrol the lands or something? Really hard to tell what their purpose is supposed to be. I mean, he's clearly one of the other guys as well. There is a couple of them here. Holy shit, he didn't really care about that. Kukri. Well done. Yeah, thank you. I very much like... You know what? One thing that I wasn't really too sure about was in Sekiro that you were able to, well, one-shot enemies, even very, very strong enemies, this easily, right? I think it's actually... At least in this... Well, there's definitely merit to that, right? The sort of feeling of actually being an assassin in Sekiro is really well done, since you can one-shot a lot of enemies just by silently approaching them, essentially, right? But making it so that sneaking essentially rewards you with a backstab, but ultimately, you know, if there was a very strong enemy with a lot of HP, you probably wouldn't kill them, right? It just deals a lot more damage. So in that case, it's sort of like the sneak attack in Skyrim, for example, right? Where it's just a multiplier that's attached to it. And I very much like that. Makes it seem not too OP, I guess. And so the Kukris throw at enemies to inflict damage and build up onset of blood loss. These are different to the ones we saw before, right, that the merchant was selling. A large knife used for throwing. Its curved blade is sharp enough to slice flesh cleanly. Throw at enemies to inflict damage and build up onset of blood loss. This heavy throwing weapon is unsuitable for swift attacks, but is able to inflict heavy damage. Okay. Scales with dexterity, but also with strength. Does it say how strong they are, though? I don't think it does, right? So... kind of want to kill the other guy that's sitting down first. I don't even really know if this makes any sense at this point. I mean, they seem fairly peaceful. I mean, sure, they're attack. What is that? They're attacking you, you know, if you... There's a turtle! Looks cute. They're attacking you if you get too close, obviously. But I do wonder... I mean, you know, the first dude wasn't really too sure if he was going to attack me or not. Bolt. Okay. So he was an archer, probably. There is this place here. Ooh. Sometimes the lighting changes a bit too abrupt for my taste, but... A mushroom! Oh, nice. I think there was something pretty good that you're able to craft with this. Also, the weather can't decide whether it wants to rain or not. Mushroom. A fungal growth that thrives in damp thickets and elsewhere. Material used for crafting items. Its thick, spongy flesh makes it a key component in throwing pots. Okay. In throwing pots? I guess so that whatever you put in sort of is more sticky or something. This also seems like something we can, yeah. Earthly flower. I think I have some recipe for this as well, right? A dusky yellow flower that has started to fade to brown, found throughout the lands between. Said to be fed by leaves that fell from the earth tree in days of antiquity. Oh yeah, I definitely... Said to be fed by leaves that fell from the earth tree. So earthly flower... fed by leaves from earth tree. I wonder, these leaves from the earth tree, right? I wonder what they're like. Do they also carry memories? Is that how the grace gets sort of strewn across the land? There's so much to see. Like, there's an entrance here. There's like things down here, and then there's this weird egg-looking thing. I don't even know if I want to approach it. Oh, there's multiple of them. What is this thing doing? Holy shit, it's completely freaking out. Is it going to attack me? Looks like a mosquito, doesn't it? It's not quite sure yet if it wants to attack me or not. That looks like, well, definitely some sort of egg. It's moving, so I assume these are probably going to hatch if I approach them. Wait, can I? Yeah, I can kill you. Huh. That was unspectacular. And then there's, like, this turtle here. I mean, I do want to... get on with the story first, I guess. I know there's a lot to explore here. What is this? Root resin. Okay. I know there's a lot to explore here, but I definitely want to get into the story first, he says, and then just proceeds to read some sort of materials that we find. Resin secreted from the roots of the great tree. Can also be found near trees on the surface. The roots of the great tree were once linked to those of the earth tree, or so they say, and it is for this reason catacombs are built around great tree roots. Okay, roots of the... So great tree... great tree, is it different from the earth tree? Once linked to it. Catacombs are built around great tree roots. Why is that? That seems like a weird choice, to be completely honest. Yeah, I wondered about that yesterday. So there's definitely, well, there's this huge shining tree in the middle of the map, right? But then there are also other trees that are also pretty big. And are seemingly, well, they seem to almost serve the same purpose, or they seem fairly similar, but they're not glowing as much, right? So if, for whatever reason, people believe that the great trees were connected to the earth tree, then I can see them building catacombs around these trees. But this is just a normal tree, isn't it? Which is a bit interesting that the resin would be here. Oh, there's more of it. Seems weird, right? Why would it just be by the side of a normal tree? And then I guess those are catacombs there? Or maybe there once was like a bigger tree? Or, I mean, these could still technically be great trees, I guess. Hey buddy, can you answer a question for me? No, apparently not. Yeah, they're really unsure as to whether or not they want to... I like the fight music. I wanted to parry him, just didn't really work out all that well. I like the impact, the sound that, you know, weapons make and the shield makes when it gets hit. Feels very impactful, everything. Sound design's pretty great. It's just running away from me? Okay. Oh. Even more resin. Okay, that looks like the place where we want to go, potentially. And I think over there, that's the site of grace, right? That's probably where the other one led us to. Wow, is this the entrance to the castle we saw earlier? No, it's much closer, right? Like to us. These structures are giant. I mean, look at that. I wonder if people in the past, or maybe there's some sort of race or whatever that also just has a more giant statue to it. I mean, we know that giants existed, right? Because one of the races that you can select in the character creator was said to be descendant from giants. Because these places, why would they have been built so huge, right? Ah, suffering. But how does this statue work exactly? I mean, once again, this is... I don't know if it's a... Is it an image of Marika? Or is it like one of her maidens? I wonder why they cut off the arms of them. What is the meaning behind it? But it told us during the tutorial that this potentially is like a spawning point, right? A place of resurrection, essentially. I wonder how this works. Is it just resurrecting me here simply because we're now standing next to it? Like, how does it decide whether or not you're able to respawn there or not? Where the fuck are you looking? I hear something. It's coming from this... Oh, it's that thing over there, right? Is that like the new type of crystal lizard? Or... Can I sneak up on it? I mean, it's moving. Surely looks like a ball of something. Oh! Teardrop scarabs. Scarabeus, huh? They're both crimson and cerulean teardrop scarabs. Defeat them to replenish the flasks that match their type. However, you cannot replenish more flasks than your maximum amount allows. Oh. So I shouldn't have killed it then. Oopsie. Well, I mean... So they emit a fairly recognizable sound, right? So that's how you can replenish your Estus, essentially, if you're not close to a site of grace or if you don't want to respawn enemies. That's cool. Gold-tinged excrement. Ew. Dung, oh dung. Yeah. You're right about that. I mean, once again, what's the implication with this Scarabi? Scarabi? Scarabeus? What's the implication here? Are they, like... Because they're collecting dung, essentially, right? And making balls out of it. So the dung contains stuff similar to what our flask contains in order to replenish HP? Interesting choice. Gold-tinged excrement. Someone's excrement. It has golden tinge. Material used for crafting items, often hidden in woods and thickets. Gold-tinged excrement is a highly stable substance. It doesn't dry out, nor does it lose its customary warmth or scent. Well, thanks for that information. For better or for worse, it remains as it is. Great. So shit that doesn't expire. Very, very cool. I wonder why the grace is leading us here. It looks like a campsite, so these guards here, for some reason, they are, they're not only patrolling this area, but they've, I don't know, are they, like, actually controlling this area? Are they ruling over this area? I mean, this certainly does look like a larger campsite, right? It also has some sort of stone tablet thing in the middle. I mean, these enemies aren't too difficult, so if I just approach this slowly, hopefully we'll be able to get through it. He doesn't look like an archer, so I guess let's just do this head on. Yeah, these other trees, right? Those are probably great trees. Whoa! Where the fuck did you come from? I did not expect this at all. Wow. What are you even? Well, that heals for quite a lot. Vanquishing enemy groups. Vanquishing an enemy group will replenish your flasks. Okay. The number and type of flasks to be replenished varies depending on the enemy group. You cannot replenish more flasks than the maximum amount allows. Okay. Why are there special dung beetles then that replenish your flasks as well? And also, why is there a maximum amount of everything seems to replenish them? That's an interesting choice. Where did they come from? Are they just sort of randomly spawning in, or are they... Did they get to me because they saw me from somewhere? From some sort of cliffside or something? Also, that guy isn't bothered at all that those weird squirrel rabbits are sitting next to him. That's interesting that they seem so at ease with one another, because they're running away from me, right? Do you not care that I'm here? Can I just sneak around? Are you blind, or what's going on? Yeah, sorry, buddy, but if you're that bad at looking at your surroundings, then, I do think it's very, very... That effect over there in the background, that looks really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of these Sites of Graces, like, being essentially a quest marker, but this looks cool, the fact that they draw in the golden, even though it's still fairly off in the distance. That's definitely a very cool effect. And I guess let's look at this place, huh? Whether or not there are some secrets hidden here. Or at least some good items. Gate front ruins. Why is it always rolling? I mean, gate front ruins is straightforward enough, I think. Well, that's clearly a gate, and we're in front of it. See, there is like a thing up there. I don't know whether or not that was an animal or something, but I do wonder if these things that attacked us, these harpy things, I wonder if they did see us from somewhere and came rushing down. See other guys sneaking in here? I mean, I'm not too afraid. These, even if they attack me up front, that shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. The only thing that I'm really a bit bothered by is that all of the background elements have this blur to them, right? I mean, the moon looks cool, but it's blurry as fuck compared to the foreground. Wait, there's another Site of Grace there. Why? There are two here? Ooh, he has a guard dog with him. There's a lot of these guys here. Can I sneak up on you? You saw that, right? Wait, sounds like somebody else heard that. He drew his weapon and then decided otherwise for some reason. Interesting. Can I, like... They're very passive, aren't they? Ooh, now I... Thin beast bones. Now I made them angry. Ooh. I like the roll. It's much easier to roll away than I thought it would be. Ooh, I shouldn't be... Now I'm... Whoa! I should probably... They take a lot more of my stamina than I thought they would. So yeah, I did underestimate them slightly. I thought fighting multiple... Oh, maybe it's because one had a hammer and the other one had a spear. So those were weapons that I didn't really encounter before. Maybe I should actually... Let me see. I could equip these kukris, right? How do I... Oh yeah, like this. So if I throw them... Wow! Okay. Okay. That was a lot more effective than I thought it would be. I like it. So I think these things are going to be great for an assassin like me, huh? The knives for ranged battle. This looks like a giant chest. Probably for a dead person, though. Ooh, that's a big dude. Maybe don't want to face him head on. I'm not entirely sure whether I really want to be sneaky or face enemies more head on. There is a strange blue glow, or maybe that's just a fog. Some kind of dungeon entrance here as well. Ugh. I don't know if somebody else will notice me. Nope. Oh yeah, see? He has a lot more health. He's also probably pretty strong. Let's maybe lure him... Does he have different music? Oh, that was close. He takes off a lot of stamina. This is going to be... Oof, that was not a great idea. It's going to be a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Oh, holy shit. Oh yeah, he wanted to go for the kill. Okay. Shit. Ooh, well, this is going to be a problem. He also has his shield up the entire time. I wanted to parry him. Well, that wasn't really effective at all. Nope. Oi. Well, this is... Oh, that was way too close. Holy fuck. Okay. Sort of brings you, you know, these first enemies really lure you in, like, into a false sense of security, right? And then you fight the big dude, and he's actually a lot stronger than I thought. Especially, it was kind of hard to find an opening. I mean, obviously you can parry him if you're good at that. So, whew, heart's racing. So you definitely want to be, you definitely want to learn parrying, right, for these dudes. Oh boy. I mean, that's probably the most difficult enemy here. The problem is that oh, I completely forgot. I can heal. It's just that it's a very... not a very good heal. Okay, yeah. Though I do like an FP system like this a lot better than your uses that you get in Dark Souls. I know that the uses are a lot easier to balance, probably, I would think, right? For the developers. But the FP just feels a lot more... Well, I wouldn't say realistic, but, you know, in terms of RPGs, I think they work better. Because, you know, it makes you feel like more of a, you know, you're a caster, you have resources, and you spend those resources, right? I think that works out a lot better than having a sort of arbitrary amount of uses. Oh, he didn't even see me. Ooh, I like how the trees are shaking with the wind. I mean, at least for the beginning of the game, stealth is probably going to be a fairly good idea. There's just a lot more guys here in general than I thought. Oh, what are you? Smoldering butterfly. Oh! So they were drawn to the flame, I guess, right? Of his fire cooking pot thing? Herba. Oh. Yet another new thing. Smoldering butterfly. An eternally burning butterfly found near wildfires and elsewhere. Material used for crafting items. Serves as the kindling for a number of items. Eternally burning butterfly. These remind me very much of the those butterflies in Dark Souls 2 that can ignite your torch. Very cool design, by the way. Like a butterfly that's really burning, right? It's sort of burning, but it doesn't burn up. Very, very cool. Evergreen leaves that give off a faint light. Material used for crafting items. This very common medicinal plant can be found in thickets and elsewhere. Is that used for maybe, like... Do I have something that heals, by the way? No. I can heal my mount that we, I guess, get later on. Thin beast bones. Right, I found those on the dog, right? So those can craft these bone darts, which might be very useful. Might be very useful for an assassin playthrough, I guess. Let's actually look at these. I hadn't read their description. Thin, hard beast bones. Material used for crafting items found by hunting beasts. Commonly used to make disposable weapons. Okay. This middle thing, not only is it glowing, but it just looks very special, doesn't it? Almost sort of out of place in this area. Isn't there another enemy over here somewhere? Well, there's one guy standing here. Oh, you saw that. Oops, both saw that. That's not good. Can you sort of get out of their sight? Wait, what? Are they... Oh, there's the golden line again on these pieces of cloth. What? Did he fall down? What happened? Or he got Hmm. Did he climb up the mountain again? I guess they just thought, oh well, he ran away. That's fine. So yeah, this is like an old campsite of theirs, but all of these things look like, you know, for some reason they built up this place as a campsite for them, but then something happened that turned them hollow, maybe? I mean, I'm saying hollow, but, you know, tarnished, whatever. Something happened to them that made them like this. And now they're, I don't know, eternally guarding this place? It really seems like that, right? Like, almost like time suddenly stood still and they just guard this place for all eternity now, I guess. Why am I glowing, by the way? That looked weird. Wait. What was that effect just now on myself? Why was I glowing? That's a guy over there. I don't think he sees me. Can I kill him first? Yeah. So now I can deal with you. Smithing stone. Oh, they dropped those. Okay. Cool. And then there's an actual item. What are you? You look very special. And he just has 3 ruin fragments. What is that? Isn't he like one of those dragon descendants? Or does it just look like that because he's a corpse? Why does he have... That crown looks, you know, to be worth quite a lot, to be honest. What is he? Also, why is he sitting in an opened grave? Almost looks like he rose up at some point but was too weak to actually do anything and then just died again? Huh. I wonder if he's supposed to be like the former ruler of maybe this gate town. I mean, this clearly is some sort of, you know, post where people were stationed outside of this gate, right? Maybe trading outpost or something. And maybe he was the ruler of this place? I mean, it's a very small place, so I don't know if they would necessarily have a ruler with a crown like that. But, yeah. I wonder what that means. At least I can kill these guys with 1 hit. Takes a fairly long time to get the items from them. Also, what are these things doing here? What are these? It's a giant carriage. This reminds me of Bloodborne. And then they're transporting dead people, I guess? Huh. It's very ornamental. Why would they just put this here? What's the point of this? I thought there was another guy back here somewhere, but maybe that's just him that I saw. It's a message. Grass. Yeah, well, thank you. I do like sneaking around in the shadows, though. Picking these guys off one by one. I mean, it's not particularly difficult, but it's certainly interesting, I feel like. Where does he travel? Is he going any further? You saw nothing. I mean, they're clearly specifically guarding these carriages, right? And there's even 2 of them. So I wonder what their deal is. God, the frame rate sometimes is really, really choppy, and that's unfortunate. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't want to open it. I didn't realize you could. Flail. Okay. Praise the treasure chest. Well, that's a good message, I guess. I don't think that it's meant to be a treasure chest. I think this is all of them, right? I think I killed everybody. Oh, there's more butterflies. Hello. Wait, can you open up the other one as well? Oh, also I need to get this item here in the middle. And I didn't see the skull earlier. Can we just run over it? No, you have to hit it. Well, that's a bit unfortunate, because it takes like ages for it to get destroyed and then ultimately acquire the items. Oh yeah, you can open this as well. Lord Sorn's Greatsword. Wow. That picture looks very ornamental. I wonder if these things are a hint towards what was in those chests at some point. So let me see. We can't use these though. This requires 16 strength and this requires 18 dexterity. Well-crafted straight sword with an illustrious design wielded by regulars of a lord's army. Are these the swords that these guys are using? It looks very ornamental for normal soldiers, right? Though blackened and damaged by years of use, it appears to have otherwise been kept in a serviceable condition, despite the soldiers having long since lost their minds. Yeah, we don't really know what that means, right? Skilled stamp, upward cut, brace armament, and step into a low stance that prevents recoil from most enemy attacks. Follow up with a strong attack for an upward strike. I really also need to try to properly deal with these skills. So this is already a weapon that we might work towards, I guess. And then a flail. A weapon consisting of a bludgeon head attached to a handle by a chain. The iron ball is spiked and induces blood loss. Blows from this weapon cannot be parried. The charge attack whirls the iron ball around for increased force before striking. Spinning chain. Spins the striking part and a flail at high speed to attack. Follow up with a normal or strong attack to link the momentum of the skill into a successive attack. So, well, judging by the skill, or not the skill, I'm blanking on the word right now. Your attributes, right? Judging by their description, since I want to get into magic as well, I maybe should go for dexterity, but looking at a weapon like a sword already makes me want to go for strength as well, right? Even though I said I wanted to level intelligence first, so already we're at kind of an impasse here. But since this is an open world this time around, I think I much more want to go for, skills, or rather, I want to approach a bit more like I would approach, I don't know, Fallout or Skyrim or something, where you typically level the skills that you're interested in rather than whatever you require for something, right? Obviously, this would make me want to go for strength first, but I think I want to, I'll keep this in mind, right? I'll keep this in my inventory for later on, but I want to go for the stats that I'm interested in first, even if they might not necessarily be something that in the short term gives me new options or something, right? I think we have plenty of time to test these things out later on. Lord Zorn's Greatsword. The reason why I'm a bit confused about these is, so were these just normal treasure chests, or were they transporting dead bodies at some point, or were the people in there resurrected at some point and they just forgot to take their weapons with them? Why would these weapons be specifically in these carriages, right? That just seems like such a weird detail to me. And this looks sort of out of place here already. I wonder if this has been erected, especially since it looks much more new than the ruins, right? I wonder if this has been erected after the ruins were destroyed. Map. Limgrave West. Our first map piece. Oh, I get it. So these things are, well, okay. I'm not sure if I like that. If these things will always just have map pieces, that would be a bit, yeah. I mean, why would a map be lying here, right? That's, I don't know. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Because this thing, I mean, in general, this thing looks like maybe whatever happened here, or why these ruins were destroyed, is written on it, right? That would be the most logical thing, almost as some sort of monument to commemorate whatever happened here. Potentially during that big war they were talking about at the start. So, And what's with this map? Is it now just unlocked? Probably, right? Limgrave's Western Region. The Demisnay? I've never seen that word before. Of Limgrave, far south of the Erd Tree, is bordered to the northwest by the cliffs of Stormvale, and under its ever-clouded skies roll the great steppes of the Pale Lands. I actually need to look up that word. Give me a second here. Oh, so the domain, essentially. Domain or area of Limgrave, okay. 1 second. One second. Oh, for fuck's sake, I hate autocorrect. Why are we in the year 2022 and autocorrect is still as bad as it ever was? Why was there never an actual tangible improvement on autocorrect? Okay, Limgrave. We're in Limgrave, right? That's what it said at the beginning. South of the Erd Tree, alright. Northwest, the cliffs of Stormvale is where we started the game, I think. At least, I mean, they're definitely cliffs, right? Great steppes of the Pale Lands. So, Limgrave. I mean, I know we have that on the map, probably. Limgrave. Northwest is Stormvale. Also, I think at some point was that the NPC at the first site of Grave that we saw, or not, well, not technically the first one, but the first in the open world? Didn't they say something about Stormvale? Stormvale Castle or something? Yeah. Pale Lands. I guess Pale Lands are to the south, is what this implies. So now this has to be... A new map has been found. Limgrave West. Wow. I wish it would be a bit higher resolution, to be completely honest. Wait, oh yeah. Zoom is with this. Also, a, like, gradual zoom would be better, but... oh well. Wow, this is actually a pretty big piece of map, right? So this is where we started. I mean, this is pretty cool because it already gives us the opportunity to maybe go back and check out this small dungeon here that we found. Because now with the map, right, it's much better to keep track of what we already did or didn't do. I wonder why these sort of pointy things, like the flow of grace, why that's specifically on the map as well. I wonder if that's going to disappear at some point. I mean, it's sort of our current objective, right? So this is that great wall that we can see, right? In that castle thing, and the big tree is somewhere to the north of here. And what is this? This looks special. And I guess these are supposed to be the Pale Lands, maybe? I mean, these look like sort of marshlands, right? Some kind of swamp area. And this leads up to the castle. And I guess this is supposed to be Stormvale Castle. Considering how big it looked from a distance, it's actually pretty mind-blowing to me that it's just like this on the map, right? And this is where we started the game. This is the Chapel of Anticipation, and this is the boss room that we were first in. And again, the implication would have been that we were probably thrown down from here and then got just swept over to here, essentially, right? I mean, logically, this sort of cave entrance here would be below the grave site. The stranded graveyard. Church of LA. I do really like the inclusion of a map this time around, right? It just makes sense in an open world game. I mean, maps exist, right? And maps have existed for a very, very long time. So it doesn't necessarily make sense for a game to not have a map at all, right? It makes sense from a gameplay standpoint in the other FromSoft games, especially since technically, right, if you compare it, especially to an open world game, the areas in the other FromSoft games aren't really big. So it's fairly easy to keep track of them. But here, yeah, it would just make sense. Also, just logically speaking, the fact that your character would probably track where they've been also just makes sense, right? The Gatefront ruins. Oh, this already makes me want to explore everything there is. Holy shit. Although, yeah, it did feel like this area sort of woke me up. The fact that this one strong dude was here, he was much, much stronger than the other ones. So you probably he's probably fairly easy to deal with. It's just that you really need to learn the sort of different gameplay elements the game offers, right? Aw, I really expected there to be some sort of special item in here. I also really like that they have the lion. Big fan of these lions. Not only because it's the crest of the city I'm living in, but yeah. These are very, very cool. And then we also have this. I wonder if this... This almost seems to be like a fairly big place, huh? Or maybe not. Huh. Just literally a small room. That chest is... Either it's just indicating that it has a very rare item in it, or it's dangerous. But once again, the design of it is incredible. Liar ahead? Oh, that was probably another message here, huh? So, yeah, I was speculating about this earlier, right? But these roots very much make it seem like the whole land is essentially um, made up of these things, or not made up of this, but the roots of the trees grow deep, right? And it seems like they're what's the word? They're everywhere, right? Which is why I was thinking that the sites of grace could literally be roots that are growing out of the ground, right? Almost maybe a potential place where one of these great trees is going to appear in the future, right? And maybe because, well, it's starting to grow, but it just hasn't really spawned yet, right? It's sort of collecting grays from the surrounding area or from the earth tree in order to grow. That could be an explanation, right? And then this chest clearly is very ornamental as well. It doesn't. Those are different animals, though. That's not a lion, right? Seems like some sort of. Oh shit! I forgot the word as well. Sorry. Oh, a badger, I think it's what it's called in English. Yeah, a badger. Looks like that, right? Or maybe it's just maybe it just looks a bit weird and is also meant to be the line. And then there's the tree on it as well. So clearly, whoever designed this chest, it was meant to carry something of great importance to these lands, I guess. Well, let's see whether or not this chest will kill me, huh? Ooh, what? Adding skills? With the whetstone knife, you can use Ashes of War to grant your armaments new skills at sites of grace. An armament can only have one skill. Any skill it previously had will be removed. An armament's type determines what skills it can have. Some special armaments have unique skills and cannot be granted new ones. Adding affinities. With a whetstone knife, you can use Ashes of War to grant affinities to your armaments at sites of grace. This way, you can alter an armament's attack affinity, boost attribute scaling, and more. An armament's type determines what affinities it can have. Some special armaments, like those with unique skills, cannot be granted new affinities. Ash of War, Storm Stomp, and a whetstone knife. So whetstone knife is a key item, and you just find this here randomly? Wait, what? What if a person just runs by this place and doesn't find it? Huh. Maybe there's multiple, instances of these items in here? Yeah, it's a key item. The whetstone knife. Also has some sort of inscription on it. God, so many things in here just remind me so much of Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, but this, the way it's sort of engraved on the knife, it does remind me of the engravings on the One Ring in Lord of the Rings, right? Not necessarily, it's definitely a different sort of script, right? But I guess the way it's rounded off is very reminiscent of Elvish, or not Elvish. What am I talking about? The demonic, what's it called in Lord of the Rings? Well, whatever Sauron decided to put on the ring, right? That's some sort of hellish demonic speech or whatever. Whetstone with a cipher inscription, made to look like a small knife blade, allows the use of Ashes of War at a site of grace to bestow new battle arts and affinities to armaments and skills. The battle arts and affinities will depend on the Ashes of War used. Ashes of War potentially were created in that Great War that was talked about at the beginning of the game, right? It's also interesting. Once again, I mean, we've seen a couple of corpses that look like they were still burning, and then these weird butterflies exist that also are kept burning. So I wonder if the war sort of did something to the world that makes it eternally burn in certain places, or maybe there just exists some sort of fire that can permanently burn and just doesn't extinguish itself. And well, Ashes of War. I wonder what sort of the ashes are in reference to. Ashes of War. Somehow this really reminds me of Sekiro. I mean, Sekiro is big about its skills, right? This Ash of War grants an armament the quality affinity and the following skill. The quality affinity. What does that mean? It's of higher quality? Is that does it just increase its damage? Storm Stomp. One of the skills that channel the tempests of Stormvale. Stomp hard on the ground to kick up a momentary storm. Usable on all melee armaments. I mean, that might be fairly useful to sort of topple an enemy, right? If it's hard to find an opening, like when I was fighting that big dude in this place, you might be able to create an opening with this. But yeah, this is rather interesting that it's just lying here. I mean, this skill I probably don't really want to use quite yet, because I still just have like a standard sword, right? I'm wondering, it's probably not that useful to use it on this sword in particular. Let's collect that other side of grace as well. I don't really want to go this way because I want to check out what's in this castle, or at least, you know, the guiding light followed us or pointed us, I think, towards that side of grace. So I think we're meant to venture forth into the castle. Also, that would potentially bring us back to the point where we spawned in, right? That Chapel of Anticipation. So yeah, that might be. I hope that I can. Let's see. If I just touch it, I should still be able to travel to it without having to rest at it, right? Let's see. Yeah. At least it says travel. Although, maybe I should go to this place, right? At least see what it is. Shit, so many things. Although, you know what? Let me unlock this other side of grace first. You know, the one thing is, I think the maidens are meant to be the person leveling us up, right? So, I kind of want to get that opportunity, right? Being able to level up seems like a good thing to unlock first, but I'm not so sure how long that takes. I mean, if you think back to Bloodborne, for example, you know, if you don't... Wait. Essentially, they only let you level up once you've seen the first proper boss, right? Because you need insight. You can sort of get around that by finding insight, but, you know, if you don't know about that, it's kind of difficult to do. And now it shows us the next point where we need to venture towards. I mean, we could rest here technically, right? That would probably respawn all those guys, but since we can just fast travel to this point now. The one thing... I want to check out this other dungeon that we saw. Or cave. Maybe it's just a small cave. And also I want to check out... So this is where we're meant to go. I mean, I could also spend my runes at this, with the merchant, right? You know what? Let me fast travel to him. I want to spend the runes with him. I still have, I have found a couple of those runes that you can just use up normally. So did this respawn everything? Yes, it did. I think. Yeah. So fast traveling always respawns stuff, I guess.
Wait, weren't you... Well, you're back. Care to buy something?
Was I what?
There are others of my people who yet survive in these lands. If the mood takes you when you meet one, then offer them some trade, won't you? My people, wanderers all have long been spurned by the grace of gold, which is why we cannot settle, but instead are forced into this pitiful, unceasing journey. But thanks to that, things are not so different for us now, though the Elden Ring is shattered. I think this makes us kindred spirits of sorts. Your people, the Tarnished, and mine.
Okay. So merchants. Well, I mean, it's clear that they're friendly towards Tarnished, but I want to write that down because that seemed like something specific. Also, they are forced to wander the lands for some reason. They're forced to wander. But we don't really know why, right? I mean, he said it's maybe because the Elden Ring shattered. Question mark? That seems interesting that they would be forced to wander. I mean, it's the same thing with these soldiers, right? So they lost their mind, I think is what something said, right? But they're clearly keeping up their post. And they seemingly still defend whatever they were originally meant to defend, right? Let's see what...
Perhaps you don't need to hear this, but see that no harm comes to my kin.
Okay.
Saying, we wanderers, lament not your solitude. Expect no sympathy, no regard, nothing. But if anyone dares harm us, show them no mercy. That is our code, so to speak. Just the way we are, deeply unforgiving.
What a specific thing to mention. You know, I don't know. Ask to be protected, I guess? Merciless when attacked? Just very interesting that he would specifically mention these things, right? Well, let's see. I still wanna... So with these cracked pots, I was wondering about that. Because it said they mend themselves, right? This empty pot somehow mends itself when broken. Essential vessel for crafting cracked pot items. I wonder if I buy these 3, will I permanently keep them? That does seem to be the implication here, right? I do want to get the telescope first, because that seems very beneficial to have in this type of game, right? So let's purchase this. Yeah, also this is a limited item, right? Whereas the usable ones are unlimited. With the torch as well, right? Considering that items don't break in this game, seemingly, these are almost like key items, I feel like. How many runes do I have? 1,400. So I could maybe... Did this... Oh yeah, the bone arrows? Glowstone, invigorating cured meat. That might be a healing item, so I might want to get those. And this is probably to attack. And these were some secret notes. I think... Let's grab this thing. Let's grab these two. And these. At least one of them. Do you want to purchase a couple more throwing daggers? Short dagger if there are no handguard, blade is polished, its weight is expertly balanced. Throw at enemies to deal damage. I want these seem probably less potent than the ones that I just had, right? Where I killed the dog instantly from range. Can I sell him something? Ruin fragments. Probably this stuff, right? I mean, we find so many of them. Let's just sell, I don't know, 10? Because that would... Oh no, wait a second. Let's sell 4. Because that way I can buy another cracked pot. Okay. Nice.
Goodbye. Nice to do business.
Nice indeed. Because this way I'm actually spending the runes, right? So if I do die, I'm not really... I don't even know how that works in this game. Like, can you get the runes back? Or is it like Sekiro where you just lose everything and you can't get it back? I wonder about that. Since it's an open world, sometimes it would be kind of annoying to potentially travel back to the points where you lost something. Do I have to use the other stuff? No. As soon as you have it, it's just in your inventory, okay? What about the other two? Oh. Note of imparting knowledge in brief. Examine using square. Let's see what this is about. Note sold by a nomadic merchant imparting knowledge in brief. A flask of wondrous physique still remains in the third church of Marika, north of the Mistwood. Cross the highway bridge and follow the animal trail north. Okay. So these are sort of treasure maps in a way. That's very interesting. I do like this concept, but it does make me wonder a bit. Again, with these Sites of Grace practically being a quest marker, it's then interesting that they also have these things in here, right? And then someone lurks among the waypoint ruins on the roads through Limgrave. The waypoint ruins. That's not where we were, though. Someone lurks among the waypoint ruins. Well, that's not very specific at all. Where's this note? I mean, this specifically tells you where something is, and this is just, oh yeah, by the way, there's some enemy somewhere. Okay, sure, I guess. Oh yeah, let's see, if I rest. What's happening? Hi. I know you. Merchant's gonna freak out.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. offer you an accord.
She looks cool. Is that I?
Have you heard of the Finger Maidens?
I do have indeed.
They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished.
So that order that we heard about.
But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
Sure? I can take her with me? How does that work? I mean, she just appeared here, right? So she can apparently be, I don't know, a ghost figure of some sort? So they serve the Two Fingers. That's an interesting piece of information. I just want to write down, take me to the Erd Tree. What's the significance of that, though? Like, is the Elden Ring at the foot of the Erd Tree? Is that why the Erd Tree exists? Did it grow out of the Elden Ring? But the Elden Ring is shattered, right? Only pieces of it remain. I mean, sure, yeah. I wonder what happens if you decline.
By grace, to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring.
Spectral Steed Whistle. Ah, that's the mount thing, right? Doesn't look like a... Well, it's a ring that can whistle, huh? Okay.
Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you.
That's her horse, though, right?
Treat him with respect.
Okay. Well, I didn't expect this to just randomly happen. So, now I wish I hadn't spent all my runes. I mean, I still have those items that are runes as well, and we'll get more than enough in the future, probably. So, I guess we can summon her at every site of grace. Very interesting. I wonder if she could appear theoretically everywhere, but just chooses to be here right now, or if she needs this guidance of grace to actually appear somewhere. I mean, there has to be some sort of connection there, right? Why did she suddenly choose to help us? I mean, well, she did before, sort of, right? But she already met us. Maybe she wanted to see whether or not we are capable. Also, I wonder how this works. Like, do they, like, how do they decide when she appears? Maybe it's because I unlocked that other side of grace. Maybe that's the one, like the one in front of the gate. Maybe that's the one that sort of triggers this cutscene, but it doesn't matter where you rest next. Because I didn't rest at it, right? I just unlocked it. It's interesting that they specifically serve the Two Fingers. I need to reread the information that I got about that. And yeah, so the level up just works.
Your runes to strength. Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
Thoughts and ambitions. I want to write that down. Share thoughts and ambitions. So, those are runes, question mark? The runes do remind me somewhat of the ones in Bloodborne, right? Where they are also sort of part of your character. So runes in the sense of something etched onto your mind, I guess. An interesting choice for a currency. Once again, that is something that I'm always... I wish that Dark Souls would explain a bit more as well. How do souls work, right? There's some form of humanity, but how can we use them to trade? How does that work, and what does that mean, right? And here as well, if our thoughts and ambitions are runes, how can we trade with them? How does that work? And then, well, I mean, I guess, logically speaking, it does make sense, right? If, for example, my ambition is to use a telescope, then I can sort of turn in those 500 runes that are that ambition in myself to trade with the actual item. And then the merchant that I traded with has more capacity for ambitions as well. But yeah, again, how does that work? Because are thoughts limited by the amounts of runes that you have? Or, right? I mean, there are definitely implications there where it seems fairly hard to actually think about that and make sense of it in a way that works logically as well. I wish they would explain a bit more about that. I don't think they will, unfortunately. With the level up menu, you can spend runes to increase your attributes. With each attribute increase, your level rises by 1. As your level rises, so does the amount of runes required for your next attribute increase. So this is like it always worked. And yeah, we don't have anything right now. And I want to increase intelligence first, so I want to make my character fairly intelligent, just because I want to play it like that. I have no idea if that'll actually be good at the end of the day, but yeah, that's definitely what I want, right? I want to be a... So, again, if we're sort of coming back to what I was talking about earlier, I'm an assassin from, like, some sort of church or something, but I want to double-cross them, right? And I seek knowledge, I seek history about this place and about our actual meaning within the lands between. And so that's why, you know, if you will, if we're trying to build up some sort of role play background here, then, you know, increasing my intelligence for me sort of means gathering that knowledge and history about this place, right? Okay. And then the Ashes of War. Okay, Ashes of War menu. With the Ashes of War menu, you can use Ashes of War to grant skills and affinities to armaments at sites of grace. An armament can only have one skill. Any skill it previously had will be lost. By adding an affinity, you can alter an armament's attack affinity, boost attribute scaling, and more. An armament's type determines what skills and affinities it can have. Some special armaments cannot be granted new skills or affinities using Ashes of War. This seems a bit unnecessary, because they already explained what these are when I found it. So now they're explaining it again. I don't know. So I have to select it. Okay. But it would decrease its attributes. I mean, it exchanges the Storm Stomp, right? Oh, it changes it from strength to dexterity scaling. Interesting. So that's what quality means, that it scales with dex instead of dexterity, but it decreases its base attack power. Weird. I don't want to do that. I could do it to this thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why you would do that. Decrease its... I mean, yeah, if you want to use the skill, sure, but that's a fair amount of damage lost, I feel like. And now she just nopes out. Okay. Horseback riding. Use the spectral steed whistle to summon and ride your spectral steed. If your spectral steed dies, you can summon it again, but it will cost 1 flask of crimson tears to do so. Ah, okay. You can dismount by using the whistle again or by pressing L3. Yeah, so I have the ability to craft items to replenish its health, though. So depends on how easily it dies, I guess. And then we have the pouches. From pouch in the main menu, you can equip 6 items to your pouches. 4 of those items can be used without opening the main menu. This is also FromSoft. They're taking 1 step forward and 1 step back at the same time. So this is cool, right? I like it. These are sort of key items that you want to potentially use multiple times, as like the summoning your mount. So this is cool. You press triangle and then you press something on the D-pad and it selects the item for you. Why aren't the other items working like this? Why do I have to cycle through the other items? Why aren't they done like this, where you press a different button and then on the D-pad? Why is that not a thing, right? In order to heal myself, for example, or use the throwing knives or whatever. Why doesn't that work like this? What a weird choice. Okay. Right, I still have to look at a couple of other things. So we have... Also, it's interesting that this is considered a tool, right? Because you would think that it's also... So tools are basically also key items, except for these things for some reason. A bit confused by the way the inventory sorts the stuff here. Torrent. Spectral Steed Whistle. A delicate goldwork ring can be used as a finger whistle. Sound the whistle to summon and ride Torrent, the Spectral Steed. Upon his death, the Spectral Steed can be summoned again, but doing so drains the flask of crimson tears, yeah. We don't really get any explanation to that. I mean, well, we saw Torrent once. I wonder why it's... Do all, finger maidens have horses? And they... Because they don't need them, right? If they can be summoned and apparently sort of teleport? I mean, maybe it's not strictly teleportation. Maybe they just become invisible or something. But, I guess they then grant, if they become a finger maiden for someone, they then offer the horse to them, right? Once again, this theme with fingers, right? Why finger maiden? What does that mean? Does that imply... I mean, based on these fingers that we found, does the name Finger Maiden imply that she also sort of records our history and potentially makes it available to other people? Because this is, it's always saying, right, it is a relic of those who came before, left to help those who would come after. Right, so I wonder if being a Finger Maiden sort of goes into that same direction, where she's maybe there to help, so she helps us now, right? But should we die or perish or not fulfill our promise, I wonder if she then seeks out another Tarnished and uses my, I don't know, knowledge, the runes that I gathered, whatever, to help the next person and help them become an Elden Lord. Okay, so if I want to, let's see, I guess, wait, how do I actually place these items here, though? Oh, with triangle. That's weird. Okay. But wait, I can place the flasks there as well, so I don't need to have them. Ah. That is weird. What? Alright, first of all, let me place this here in the pouch, right? Because that seems good to have. God, the triangle thing. And then the telescope as well. Let's put the telescope here. Okay. I don't know. Do I want to put my healing here? I don't know if that's maybe a bit I don't know if that works all that well, to be honest. I mean, maybe if I get used to it. Messages, sends oneself home, summoning pools, summon sign. Yeah, I don't really want to interact with multiplayer right now. That's definitely something that I want to sort of keep for later. Let's just put these two right here for now. I don't know if that's... I mean, should be fairly easy to use in general, right? Just hold triangle and heal. But I don't know if in the heat of the situation that's really a good idea. And then you have this item down here as well. Okay. And one thing that I didn't do before, I think, is look at the new crafting items that I got. Because I bought that, right? So we have Invigorating Cured Meat. Temporarily boosts robustness. So it's not a healing item. Interesting. Sliver of Meat. So just kill something. Crab Axe. Hunting large crabs. Okay. And Land Octopus Ovary. Those are fairly specific items. Okay. Cured Strip of Meat. Dried out after pickling and red medicinal solution. Temporarily boosts robustness. So I wonder, considering the items that it needs, should be a fairly substantial boost, to be quite honest. Higher robustness helps to mitigate the buildup of frost and blood loss. I mean, if there is some sort of snowy area, maybe this will be really beneficial. And then we have white cured meat. White sliced meat. Also boosts robustness. Lasts longer than traditional cured meat, but with reduced effectiveness. Huh. Okay. Fire pot. I should probably try these, right? I want to know how these cracked pots work. Because I do think that if we craft this, it'll take away one cracked pot, add one fire pot to our inventory, but then if we use it, it'll add back one cracked pot. But obviously the items that we use to craft the fire pot otherwise are lost, right? That's how it should work, I think. And now we can also do a glowstone. Polished ruin fragment that shines brighter than rainbow stone. Craftable item. Emits light from the location it is placed, illuminating surroundings. However, the effect is short-lived, and it lacks the diverse colors of rainbow stones. May serve some benefit in dark places, or at night. Considering that I have a torch, this seems very unnecessary, but okay. Dew-kissed herba. Okay. Yeah, let's craft one of these. I have the smoldering butterflies, right? Do we want to craft two? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see how effective they are. I guess I also need to equip them. Right, and then, let's see, I should be able to upgrade my weapon, actually. Does that cost runes? It does. 123 plus 14. It's not a big increase, but it's better than nothing, I guess. So we have 7. That's 1,400, actually. I could probably level up one time, huh? Should actually do that, I think. Oh wait, 280? Did I misread that? I thought it said 200. Ah, weird. Okay, so that would be a broadsword +1. I mean, you know, I think this will be a weapon for the time being, so why not upgrade it, huh? Ah, shit. Scratch myself. Why does it hurt so much? What the fuck did I just do? Okay, yeah, let's do this. The next is 130 plus 15, okay. I mean, it's not the best weapon, potentially, but I mean, these upgrade materials seem fairly easy to come by. Also, wait. I need 829 runes to level up. So that requires 4. Sure, why not? Wait. Oh, shit. I think I have to select use multiple or something. Use selected, yeah. Ah. Okay. Rest at Site of Grace. Let's level up for the first time. Let's go to our intelligence to 10. Not that that really does anything, but... Yeah, what does that do? Magic 95. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think that... let me see. Magic. Defense power, magic, damage negation against magical attacks. Oh, that's magic resistance, okay. Yeah, defense power, it says so at the top. I'm an idiot. But wait, it doesn't increase anything else? It seems weird. Well, it would increase magical attack, right? If we had a staff equipped or something, I guess. That's a nice effect. I really like the sound design of this game so far. It has a really cool thing going for it. But wait, it doesn't actually... Oh, it's a bit of a shame. It doesn't actually summon the maiden back. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, once again, we did a lot of stuff, but not the stuff that we're supposed to do. So I wonder if I should go back to this place. I kind of want to check out what these weird eggs were about, and then there was an entrance there as well. Because it feels like this might be some sort of good starting spot, right? Maybe not too difficult. Because considering how difficult that like stronger enemy was over at the campsite thing, or the Gatefront ruins or whatever, I think that this guy that's roaming the land here is probably going to be fairly difficult. So I do want to, you know, level up a bit first before I attempt him, I think. Oh wait, what is that? Is that a statue of some sort? Oh, that's a message. Try attacking? Attacking what? I mean, you find quite a lot of these runes, right? So... What is that? He looks, once again, very Bloodborne-y, right? There he goes. Almost seems to offer something to... I wonder why this is placed here, right? Seems like an awkward spot otherwise to place a statue like this. Because it's fairly inaccessible, right? I mean, if this would be some sort of praying site, it would be a bit annoying to get to, I guess. I do think that he's placed like this on purpose towards the... What is it called? Stormvale, right? Yeah. Huh. Has a crown of some... Crown of wooden branches? Apparently. He's holding something. Guide and gatekeeper for those returning to the roots. What? What? Wait, does this show on the map? Oh yeah, this stays on the map as well. So I guess that's some sort of hint towards there being something special over there? Maybe? I mean, I kind of want to check out the other places that I talked about first. Guide and gatekeeper. To the ones returning to the roots. I mean, it does explain why there's these tree roots here, right? They are connected to that somehow, but... Very interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going to check that out later. I want to go into that other dungeon that we saw. Oh. What? I wish they would be... I almost wish you could just press triangle to immediately get the runes from the skulls. Just seems a bit... You know, this seems like something that can get annoying really, really fast. The fact that you always have to attack them like this. Hi. You're a cute turtle. Is that golden dung? Oh yeah, it is. So the turtles are shitting the stuff then? Let's see, what are you? Ugh. Okay. That seems poisonous, doesn't it? Oh, they have more health than I thought they would have. Also, was that... Wait, did it die? I thought it would drop something. Mosquito did, though. Great dragonfly head. Ew. So they're stuck in the water like that? Whoa. I mean, it does seem like these mosquitoes are defending it, or the dragonflies, rather. So maybe that's where these dragonflies hatch, or something? A mushroom. Let's take a look at the dragonfly stuff. Head of a large dragonfly. Long believed to have the ability to neutralize poisons. Okay. Kind of wish that would have had a bit more explanation about them on there. Oh well. Very weird. But yeah, these seem to be some sort of large eggs, right? Potentially hatching the dragonflies? And this is where this cave was. Let's just kill him again, huh? Bolts. You know what? I'm still a little bit unsure whether or not this whole thing about respawning enemies, like in Dark Souls or in the other FromSoft games, whether or not that actually makes sense in this game. I don't know. It just seems a bit strange, right? If we compare it especially to other open world RPGs, that enemies would just respawn over and over and over again. I mean, sure, obviously you don't want the world to be completely empty at some point. I'm not really saying that, but if we compare it to Breath of the Wild, for example, where, you know, enemies stay dead for at least a period of time, I don't know, this just seems a bit strange, doesn't it? Just doesn't really... It's just a bit weird, is all. Because I do wonder if that's going to get annoying at some point. That enemies are constantly respawning. Groveside Cave, okay. I do very much like this, though, right? You enter a dungeon, you find a site of grace, it clearly tells you, okay, you know, now you can attempt this dungeon. It's very well done. See what this cave is about. Also, there is this, summoning pool is now functional. I wish it would, like, show a bit clearer that it's activated. Does it actually show the other one on the map as well? Oh, now we have restricted fast travel. That's interesting. Although, once again... Oh, you can... Okay, that's cool. And this statue also gets marked on your map, so I very much like that. I kind of wonder... With things like this, I always wish that it would actually have some sort of explanation ready, right? I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not like I think it's bad or anything. It's just having a better explanation as to why you'd potentially not be able to fast travel anymore if you enter certain dungeons. It makes sense from a gameplay standpoint, right? Although, does it really? Why wouldn't I be able to fast travel from here? I mean, what's the issue with teleporting out of a dungeon? Because you still wouldn't be able to get the item. Like, if you're in a sticky situation, you could teleport out, but I mean, that's it. You would also give up on potential rewards in the dungeon, right? I mean, the rewards themselves are only probably... You can only really get them if you actually defeat the enemies that are in that particular area, right? So... I don't know about that sort of idea. And now let's actually see how... Oh, for fuck's sake, I need to see how effective the torch is. Oh, it's actually... Yeah, this is pretty cool, right? This is probably what Dark Souls 2 attempted to do. Although, well, I guess in Dark Souls 2, it's more of a... Like, they weren't able to develop their lighting system far enough. Because Dark Souls 2, I wonder... I mean, but it does work, though. Right? It's so weird to me in Dark Souls 2 that they have this torch mechanic. It's a much bigger deal in Dark Souls 2 as well, right? Where you have the timer on the torch. It's such a specific item. It even gets like a very specific sort of part of the menu for itself, the equipment menu. And you can interact with a lot of places with the torch, right? It plays a central role in Dark Souls 2, and yet, you know, dark places aren't really dark. You don't really need to light them up at all. Whereas here, obviously, it's you know, I mean, look at this. This clearly makes a huge difference. But at the same time, in Dark Souls 2, I feel like had they just made the darker places darker, it would have had the same effect. It would have actually been very good. I don't know what happened there. I mean, maybe the whole lighting thing was worse before they released the Scholar of the First Sin edition, and then so they, because it didn't really work in the beginning, they didn't really implement it properly, and then when Scholars of the First Sin came around, they didn't want to revise the whole game. They didn't want to force the player to use it, but it feels, I don't know, it just feels incredibly weird, the torch mechanic in Dark Souls 2. Okay, there's a wolf there. A lot of people died here. Huh. That is annoying, though. With the messages here, now it can't switch off my torch. What the fuck? That's a bit dumb, right? I don't think that's how it should work. Ooh, is that a big wolf? Oh, I should have rested at the site of grace as well. I guess the implication here is that they killed the soldiers. Let's see how this works. Oh, of course. Wait, and the others didn't care about that? What the fuck? Oh, shoot! There's a lot of health. I didn't expect a second attack. He had some sort of second attack there. They're a bit confused as to what they're supposed to do. I feel like, yeah. Okay. Let's use this heal. Don't want to use up my other resources. Thin beast bones. I had hoped that my pot would actually deal more damage than this, though. Oh, there's an item down there. That's a bit unfortunate. Okay, let me check. How do I check this? Yeah, so we got our cracked pots back. So I definitely want to buy the third one then from the guy. And I could now craft another one as well. Let's just do that. Why not? And yeah, we can also craft these ones now. The bone darts. We can now actually craft 2 sets of them as well. Nice. So let's equip them as well. Oh yeah, you can throw these. I was wondering why they were listed under tools, but yeah, of course, you can throw these, right? It said so in the beginning. They are parts of crafting items, but they can also be thrown. They're the pebbles of this game. But yeah, the fact that you can't switch weapons while standing on a message, it's a bit of an oversight, isn't it? And this is some sort of cave moss. Okay, cool. God, I love the exploration of this. I don't know why, it just seems like such a cool thing. It seems so much more like an actual RPG now compared to the other FromSoft games. I don't know, and to have like an open world RPG with really, really good gameplay is incredible. I mean, that's, I think, why a lot of people also like Horizon so much, because Horizon was actually one of the first open world games that I've ever played that actually had good gameplay, right? It's just that Horizon, again, I said that like a couple streams ago, Horizon unfortunately, well, doesn't really properly use the fact that it has good gameplay in a lot of ways. Even if you play on high difficulty, sure, the challenge is there. But I still feel like Horizon doesn't really fully take advantage of what they've created there in terms of gameplay, right? which is a bit unfortunate. Do I want to jump down? I wouldn't be able to get back up though, right? Let's see, what's to the left here? Kind of sad that I had to kill the big, no hidden path ahead, but praise the message. Nah, not gonna do that. Especially the fact that there are wolves in here that killed these soldiers, right? That's so much more logical compared to everything. Like, you know, this makes me almost wish that these soldiers wouldn't be some sort of mindless beings that lost their mind, right? Just the fact that, for example, in Skyrim, you're fighting actual humans, or in The Witcher as well, just makes it so much more interesting, right? Because it does give that potential of also, you know, I don't know, have messages that they left behind, right? Or special items, or letters, or whatever, right? Whereas here, the fact that these soldiers are sort of hollow, I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I almost wish that wouldn't be the case, but again, we're at the beginning parts of the game, so I don't want to, you know, criticize the game because of that or something. But this is just cool, right? I mean, there are these wolves in here, and they killed the soldiers, and then just chilled. What is he doing? God, I love how dark it gets if you turn off the torch. Oh, he hurt me, though. Okay. Well, that's cool that you can't necessarily sneak up on these things. Makes a lot of sense, right? Okay, this is the way to get back up then, theoretically. I wonder why he was sitting in front of him. Maybe he was sort of thinking, well, why did I kill this human? Also, I very much like that this cave is not linear at all. Well done. Okay, sure. What is this item then? Oh, a cracked pot! Nice! So yeah, I think every time these items are glowing purple, that's always some sort of key item. So that's pretty cool. Another cracked pot. Well, I don't have enough crafting materials right now to actually make something for the cracked pots, though. So, oh, did we actually read through the cave moss description? I feel like I forgot that. Faintly luminescent moss that grows in dark caves. Material used in crafting items, a fundamental ingredient for medicinal boluses. I wish that these crafting items would have a bit more of an in-depth description, to be honest. Oh, hi. Oh, shit. I didn't see you there. Oopsie. Wait. Was he sort of unsure whether or not he wants to attack me? Bye-bye. And how potent are these then? Ah, okay. God, look at this! You can barely see him! Holy shit! Oh, that was a cool attack as well. That he was sort of... He moved sideways to ram me rather than... And a glowstone. Yeah, he did some sort of sideways movement rather than attacking me up front. That was pretty cool as well. I don't know. I haven't read the actual description of these so far, right? I think. Polished rune fragment that shines bright. No, I did, I think. Yeah, I did. So I guess if you don't have the torch, you can use those stones. You know, exploring this cave without a torch, though? Oh boy, that's Silver Firefly. Oh, they're just chilling. I just realized that. Huh? That's funny. Silver Fireflies. Gives off a silvery light, found near bodies of cold water untouched by sunlight. The light of fireflies is believed to have an alluring magic. Silver light is considered to invite riches. Okay. That's interesting, considering that we've heard about golden stuff for now, mostly, right? Grace is golden, there has been a golden order. People are looking for that, I felt like, was sort of the thing that we're hinting at. But now silver seems to be an important thing, I guess. I think this is the only path we can go now, right? Oh, there's a fog gate here? Some sort of boss, huh? Once again, not really sure about the fog gate. Why isn't there... Well, okay, first of all, the problem is that I feel like it's kind of hard to come up with an explanation for these things, right? I mean, you could try and make a connection to this golden grace stuff that's flying about, but why would that specifically create a fog gate like this? And yeah, I don't know. I wish they wouldn't do this. Wouldn't it be a lot cooler if the bosses were just sort of in here? Especially considering that they're also... Like, they now have these open world bosses, right? At least that's what I think that one horse dude is, right? Next to the... That you can see, right, when you enter the open world, right? At the start of the game. There's this horse dude riding around, and he seems to be some sort of open world boss, right? If they have that, then why limit boss areas here? I mean, would it really be so bad if you could... I mean, yeah, sure, theoretically, you might be able to, I don't know, cheat the AI or something if you'd actually have the whole cave. Like, if I could just run back out of the cave, for example, when I started the boss fight. But once again, what's the harm there, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I want to kill this boss because it probably has some sort of interesting loot. So... I don't know. I kind of wish they wouldn't have done this. I kind of wish that the game... I mean, it's fine if they're, like, really big bosses, like the one that killed us at the very beginning. That was clearly something special, right? And obviously we heard in the beginning cutscene as well that there are these special people or whatever that have been resurrected that we probably need to kill over the course of our journey. So I feel like it's fine if you design special boss rooms and boss encounters like that. But in a cave like this, I wonder if it wouldn't have been a better choice to just have, I don't know, normal, like, just put a strong enemy here, right? It doesn't need a specific boss room, it could just exist here, and that would be fine. Alright, let's see what this is about. Beastmen of Farum Azula. Wait, is that a werewolf? Oh, whoa! He's very quick. Oh right, I put this somewhere else. Yeah, fucking hell. Wow. Okay, he's a lot more aggressive than I thought he would be. Also a lot stronger as well. Oh. Why am I not dead? Oh! This is my first death. Well, this is going to be interesting. You died. Yeah, no shit. Beastman of Farm Azula. Well, he was very strong. Holy shit. Death. Well, now we get the explanation for that as well. Wow, so, he was very aggressive. He took away a lot of stamina with one of his attacks. So I wasn't really able to block him as well. And he was kind of relentless with his attacks. I thought that there was some sort of moment where you could actually, like, get in a hit or two, but that's actually hard to see. And yeah, I think I'm gonna put the healing items back to the normal equipment slots. It feels weird having to hold triangle to heal. I don't know if I could get used to that over time, but I mean, considering that it's a FromSoft game and, you know, I'm probably just used to the fact how items work, those quick items. So I think I'm going to put the healing item back to the actual normal equipment slot. Okay, upon dying, you will be revived at the last set of graves that you visited. So I don't necessarily have to, because I didn't rest here, right? It's literally the last that you visited, so that's pretty cool. You will drop any runes in your possession at the site of your death. If you die again, before reclaiming those runes, they will be lost forever. The compass at the top of the screen indicates the direction of the lost runes. Okay, so you can get them back. That's cool. Yeah, let's remove these here and put them back. Here. Let's remove this for now. Put these two here. Well. I mean, I guess I can just try and kill it, right? There's no real harm in that. I mean, obviously, I have to collect my runes first, so that might be a bit annoying. I mean, it's only 600 runes. It's not that much, right? I don't necessarily think that I have anything that would be helpful against him, though. He does look like some sort of werewolf, right? Which is interesting, considering that this cave is inhabited by wolves, and he has... well, he almost seems like some sort of... well, clearly a cross between wolf and men, right? That's what werewolves are, I guess. I don't think I have anything necessarily that makes this fight any easier, right? Guess I just have to learn how he works. Also, those things... I could try co-op, obviously, right? Would probably make this boss a lot easier. I wonder... That's the thing, right? Especially with these summoning signs, they do make it seem like co-op is supposed to be a fairly central element of this thing, right? I don't know. It just... So is there a way for me to run back to that boss without being killed by the wolves? I don't think they necessarily care about me. Because it's off to the right here anyway, right? But wait, huh? Oh, fuck, they saw me. The moss respawns as well? That just seems strange. Oh, whoops. Well, that's certainly something that the mist does, right? It does... Oh, fuck! And then he has... Not only does he have these delays to his attacks as well, right? But... Oh, for fuck's sake, I pressed the wrong... Now I'm used to having... fuck's sake. Wow, what is that? He has a weird attack delay in some of the things that he does. Good. Good. Fuck. Do it. Well, at least he does do that a couple of times. Oh boy! Whoa! Enemy felled. Flame Drake Talisman. Wow. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, this really gets your blood pumping. Holy shit. Return to entrance. Okay. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that really gets your blood pumping. It really does. Wow. This is exciting. I mean, he wasn't the most complicated enemy, right? Once you realize that his 4-combo attack always leaves an opening at the end, and I feel like the iframes on your dodge rolls are fairly, they're pretty, what's the word? Gracious, I guess? But yeah, you definitely have to deal with his delays and stuff. The tracking is quite powerful. What is this? Oh! I completely forgot about that. I would have lost these things had I died. I completely forgot that I lost the runes earlier. Yeah. Oh, he dropped 1,000 runes, okay. So that's what that looks like. Wait, and so, oh, right. So we already heard. I actually need to write that down. So, God, wow, I'm really filled with adrenaline with this fight, even though it wasn't even all that special, but I don't know, for some reason it was really incredible. So Lost Runes. Let me write that down. Lost Runes. Death. Look like tree leaves. Or not tree leaves, tree branches. Branches. I wonder if that's a hint at because we had this item, the earthly flower, right, is fed by leaves from the earth tree, or supposed to. So I wonder why your lost runes look like tree branches, essentially. If that's your essentially knowledge and ambition, is the giant tree, the earth tree, is that sort of the combined knowledge of this whole world? It's definitely a very interesting symbol, right? That they make the runes look like those tree branches. These weird messages. And also, they give you a teleport point back to the entrance. That seems a bit unlike FromSoft, right? But again, this game does feel a bit more like something like Skyrim, to be completely honest. And in a very good way, right? The good parts of Skyrim. And that combined with the awesome combat, wow. It's pretty cool. I wonder what happened here. I mean, considering how many bones are here, I guess these wolves are... or maybe he's even controlling the wolves to bring him something to eat or something like that. What is this? Huh. That looks sort of special, doesn't it? Wonder what this is doing here. Because all the other objects are clearly have been brought in here, right? So these soldiers were probably in here first or something. Maybe even one of the soldiers turned into the werewolf. I mean, obviously we don't know. But this thing? What is this? Why is it here? Interesting. And yeah, maybe I should actually look at what I got, huh? I got a rune, apparently. Or not a... Wait, a talisman, not a rune. Where is it? Ah, here. Talismans. Flame Drake Talisman. Boosts fire damage negation. Talisman depicting a red ancient dragon. That is a dragon? I guess I can see it. I wouldn't have... Well, if they hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known, but... Yeah, if you know, you can kind of... You know, that thing at the bottom could be its tail, and then you can see, like, one of its feet, I guess, and then the rest would be its two big wings, sort of. Boosts fire damage negation. The ancient dragons who ruled in the prehistoric era before the Earth Tree would protect their lord as a wall of living rock. And so it is that the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manner of protections. Okay. Don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that. So once again, the dragons ruled in the prehistoric era. Interesting. Prehistoric era. Wall of living rock is a very interesting quote. So it is that the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manner of protections. I wonder how that knowledge was brought forth, though. I mean, maybe dragons still exist, but still, how do we know about that? But yeah, interesting that dragons at some point ruled this place. And you get one talisman slot? It says talisman 1, though. Oh, maybe you can increase the number of talisman slots over time? That would actually be pretty incredible. I mean, I can just equip it. Oh no, wait, it does weigh something. Interesting. But since we don't have any other one, we can just go with this for now. I haven't really encountered anything that would deal fire damage to me. But yeah. Cool. Cool. Definitely a nice reward for this thing. I wonder why some sort of weird werewolf has a fire-negating talisman, though? I mean, maybe they had it before they ventured into this cave, right? We don't really know what happened here. But... I don't think that once they turned werewolf... Or, I mean, it could be that they were a werewolf before turning mad, right? I mean, if they even were mad, but could theoretically be that they still, even though they were already some sort of werewolf thing, they maybe still purchase this talisman somehow because fire's. I mean, I guess fire would be pretty effective against him. I wonder if I had used my torch, if that would have dealt more damage to him. That would have been certainly interesting to try, I guess. That's a bit unfortunate. I mean, well, he's probably going to stay dead, right? I imagine that bosses behind those fog walls are probably going to stay dead permanently. Which is a bit of a shame, because now I actually would like to try him a couple more times, right? Try out different strats, try out co-op maybe. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of opportunity to do that, but yeah. Oh well. What the fuck is that? Is that, what? Wow, those, like, a couple of these things, or loading screens, they show you stuff that looks absolutely bonkers. I mean, is there some other point in me still being here? We can level up, though. Allocate flask charges. Use a sacred... I don't have one, right? It's weird that this always shows. I wonder if I should go for a 4th healing flask currently. The problem is that the spell that I have, or rather the miracle that I have that heals, that's more of a heal in between fights kind of thing. And I can use it like 4 or 5 times. Let's do this for now. I can always, I mean, you can freely change this every time, right? So I can just change it back as soon as I get more, more spells or anything. I can just change it. Okay, and then just, let's get another point of intelligence. So I kind of want to keep my intelligence stat as one of the highest. So I think, let's just level intelligence first. At least a little bit. Oh, the next one increases my defensive power, like everything. Okay. Sure. And yeah, let's go for intelligence first. And then I can always sort of take the other stuff and deal with that later as well. I want to... Well, technically I should go for... Let me actually see. So strength would increase my weapon damage by 1, apparently? It's not a lot, is it? I'm guessing every second level also increases your overall defensive power, probably? They got 20 HP, that's not bad, considering I only have 400. Yeah, so I definitely want to increase my vigor as well. Endurance, sort of depends. I have a lot of stamina for my own attacks, but with foes like these, he took off a lot of stamina, right? So it's better to roll rather than shield yourself. Which is, sort of takes away some of the effectiveness of shields, I feel like, when the rolls are this powerful, right? I don't know if I necessarily like that. And then strength. Yeah, let's go for intelligence first. And I think I can just use 2 more of those. Can I actually use this from here? Nah. Or can I? Probably not, right? That's always a bit unfortunate that... I mean, consider how long that takes, right? That's actually a couple of seconds before you can go into any kind of menu. And so, you know, doing this... I wish it would just let you automatically use that if you want to level up, right? So let's say if I wasn't, like right now, I was missing like 300. I wish that it would still level you up. And then just say you need to activate 2 rune things for it to be possible to level up right now. So do you want to do that, right? If they would say something like that, that would be cool. It's not a big deal, but I kind of wish they would do that. Oof, I really like that deep sound when you level up. Really satisfying. Okay. Well, this was actually pretty good, huh? I wonder if, does it, like, show that you've cleared this thing? Does that even... I don't think it does necessarily, huh? Should I check out whatever he was pointing at? He was pointing at something over here. I don't think you have to, like, go up the cliff. So that might be a good idea as well. I mean, well, I don't really know what these enemies are about, right? Whether or not they will respawn or whatever happens, so I really don't know if it would be beneficial to... Let's just kill him. He's sitting here so conveniently. Oh, this time he didn't drop the bolts, though. That was strange, though. The fact that, yeah, I'm not entirely sure if sort of the way the respawning mechanics work, that seems kind of weird and very different to the approach that other open world games take. And I'm not really sure if it's bad or good yet. I mean, obviously time will tell, but... So, I mean, that boss wasn't too easy, I would say, right? I mean, he can very, very quickly kill you. So I'd imagine that, especially players who maybe aren't as familiar with FromSoft games, and I'm not pretending that, you know, I'm even not that familiar, but, you know, I can definitely see people, I mean, even myself, I'm a bit surprised. I would think that I would take a couple more attempts to really get, get the enemy patterns in this case. So there's definitely a high chance that you have at least, let's say, 4 or 5, maybe 6 attempts on that boss, right? Especially with different starting classes. I mean, I feel like I have a fairly strong weapon and overall a fairly solid starting class, but, you know, depending on what you pick, that boss might be more difficult in a couple of cases, right? It might also be easy, I don't know, but, you know, the thing is just that if the green moss, for example, respawns every time as well, that just seems a bit weird, right? You just get free materials every time you die. It's somewhat of a weird decision, I feel like. I honestly think that in this case, at least from my perspective right now, again, that perspective might change, but, you know, after the first couple of hours, it does seem like it would have maybe made more sense to have a bit more of a permanent mechanic for you know, traversal and death in general. Oh yeah, by the way, so far I haven't actually summoned my torrent. Hi. Aw, he looks cute. This is how I always, like, traversed. Wait, did it turn off? This is how I always traversed The Witcher, like, very, very slowly on horseback. I guess I can also jump, yeah. And then, alright, this de-summons him. Well, that's certainly pretty cool. Yeah, why is there no, like, double jump if you're at walls or something? I wonder if it deactivates itself. No, it's still activated. Never mind. I guess it just didn't show. Also, with a place like this, right, when you're sort of high up, I halfway expect to be able to use a glider. I don't know why, but you know, having played Genshin again, and oh, also I see a couple of other dudes over there, so we'll check that out as well. But having played Genshin again, and then also remembering Breath of the Wild, you know, having an open world game like this without being able to fly is actually kind of a, like, you actively need to remind yourself that you just can't jump off any cliff and just glide towards wherever you want to go. It is interesting, so it shows you where you're supposed to go, but then you don't actually, like, it doesn't remain, right? It only shows once you're close to the statue, sort of. So I guess you're supposed to remember where it's looking at? Not a Stormbay Castle, I'd imagine. Yeah, still absolutely no idea where there's so many ruins that... Oh, wait. No, I have an idea. We know that something fell out of the sky, right? Or supposedly fell out of the sky. Didn't the blue thing look at this specific rock, though? Looked like it did, or maybe... Or did it look at this thing? Oh. Is that a sunflower? Tarnished golden sunflower. Well, that's something that I didn't expect. A large flower that blooms facing the Earth Tree. Okay. Found near minor Earth trees. So minor Earth trees exist. Dormon, Great Tree. I guess I wanna let's just put this here. Minor Earth trees. Exist. Though wilted and faded, it still retains holy essence. It didn't look too bad to me when I was approaching it. It retains holy essence and faces the Earth Tree. Okay. Holy is a damage type in this game, right? I think. Wait, is it? Where did I read something about holy? I think it was in my character stats overview or something. I think it was here? No. This magic. Oh, holy! Yeah, it says right here. Your defense, power, and damage negation against holy attacks. So holy is a type of damage. And sunflowers retain holy essence. Okay. Yeah, now I'm slightly confused as to what the statue is supposed to show me. Like, is it... Oh, that's a big dude down there. So many things to look at. Holy shit. But yeah, now I'm wondering, like, is he pointing at something else? Am I missing something here? Or, is he literally pointing at that door? Because, I mean... it's kind of clear that there's something special behind it, right? Why would there be a statue specifically pointing at it? That seems a bit unnecessary, but okay. What are you guys doing here? Yeah, once again, really interesting. He's afraid of me, right? I mean, clearly he's ready to defend himself, but he doesn't necessarily want to fight. Door ahead, yeah, no shit. Let's collect the mushrooms first. Yeah, I wonder is the statue literally just looking at this door? That would be kind of weird, right? Let's go to the other guys first. I want to see what they're doing. Also, there's these huge, like, gravestones here. And then also, look at the wall, right? Those are also pieces of ruins in that stone. So it's not entirely a natural stone wall. And it's sort of slanted or tilted. What are they looking for? I really like when the sun is setting. Yeah, they're afraid of me. I think they're literally just looking for these fruits, right? See, like... He's even running away. Wow. Now I feel bad. That's actually strong imagery that they're using here. Very unconventional, and something that I haven't really seen like that in any other game. I mean, he was raising up his arms, running away, and then cowering in fear. Wow. Now I really feel bad. So these are they also just tarnished? What are they, like, what's their deal? It feels like they were looking for something to eat, right? Since they were also carrying these berries with them. Feels like they were just looking for, yeah, either something to eat or certainly, you know, flowers or something. I mean, this does look like some sort of huge gravestone, though. But there's no real hint as to what this might have been or could be or whatever. Yeah, I feel bad about these guys now. What's going on here? I mean, the soldiers, while being fairly passive at the start, they still, you know, I mean, they know how to defend themselves, I guess. But yeah, what's the deal here? Why are these guys so... I mean, this world seems a lot less aggressive in a lot of ways than your typical FromSoft game. Okay, let's see what this is about. I don't think this will lead us up into the castle or anything. This is just probably another dungeon. Side of Grace at the entrance. Stormfoot Catacombs. Or maybe it is? Stormfoot? Definitely. So these are some catacombs that are clearly below the castle, is what the name suggests, right? I wonder if I should be here, to be honest. But yeah, I kind of want to... I still find it weird that that statue is looking towards this place. Also, the music's really ominous. Holy shit. Did I use any items? I don't think I did, no. Wow. That sort of high-pitched singing. This sounds... I was just saying this world, you know, is a lot less aggressive, and now I'm entering a place where I feel like I kind of shouldn't be, or... I don't know. He looks exactly like the other dude that we found in the beginning. And also they're sprouting, like, ghost mushrooms next to him? What? A proper death means returning to the Earth Tree. Have patience until the time comes and the roots call to you. What are you talking about? I mean, those mushrooms, I don't think they're, like, meant to be roots from the Earth Tree, though. What? A proper death means returning to the Earth Tree. I want to write that down. A proper death. Returning to the Earth Tree. So that might also be a hint. Like when I died and those branches appeared in the spot where I died, maybe the Earth Tree was sort of trying to claim me in a way. Because he's also talking about roots, right? Let's see that once again. Have patience until the time comes. The roots and the roots call to you. At the proper time, question mark? Why do these ghosts exist here? What's your deal? Why do you have ghost mushrooms next to you as well? I wonder if... Oh, you know what this could mean? I mean, if we're assuming that the sort of the roots of the Earth Tree are exist sort of everywhere, right? And runes are also tied to memories as well. Maybe through these roots that grow like under the ground everywhere, these are sort of memories of somebody resurfacing. Wow, holy shit, that's ominous music. I wonder... So somebody died here, apparently. Whoa! I heard something. Oh, these are these weird goblin things. Okay. That's like the statue that we saw in the beginning place where we couldn't access it. So they cause bleed, huh? Oh, I really like that. The status bar with the bleed looks incredible. So, these are still made out of stone, right? These are sort of stone goblins that for some reason are alive. And then we found, in the very first thing next to the tutorial cave thing, there was one where we could have inserted that item that you can choose at the beginning to have one as well. They looked very similar, but they weren't alive for some reason. Also, I really like that these bloodstains emit this red glow. The lighting in this game is really something else. So is this... Why are there so many grave sites? Considering where we started the game, right? Or rather, you know, the second part where we were, where the tutorial area is. That also very much looked like some sort of gravesite. So you kind of would assume, let's say, if the Stormvale Castle had a gravesite, right, where they would bury their dead soldiers, people like that, right? Especially with that giant statue up top, you would think that the place where we started is their gravesite, right? So it's a bit surprising that there would be this other one here. Give me a second, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so what was I going to say? So we saw, like, he looks similar to that guy that we found sitting on top of the grave in the gate side thing where we were. He looks exactly like that dude. So he's also wearing the same crown. Which kind of makes me wonder that maybe these guys are... and he has root resin on him. Maybe this crown that they're wearing is actually a symbol of something else. Because at first I thought that it was special. Is the resin some sort of hint here? I don't think it is, right? Oh right, it's for this reason catacombs are built around great tree roots. So yeah, that makes me think that these guys might potentially be like members of a certain order that somehow either guard secrets or knowledge or want to gain knowledge about the Earth Tree. I wonder then if these catacombs are also connected to that. Treasure chest ahead, try gesturing. Wait. What? Wait, is that true? I don't think it is, right? That would be... What kind of gesture though? Wave, jump, point, rally, rest. Yeah, I don't think this is what you're meant to do. I mean, this chest looks very special, but I don't think that it's unlocked by using a gesture in front of it. That would be interesting. But yeah, I wonder what these guys are about. I wonder what their deal is and what they... You know, maybe this isn't really a gravesite at all. Maybe this is... Maybe they're trying to somehow gain knowledge on something, and that's why they're storing their dead like this, because they potentially want to find out more about the Earth Tree or about the connection of death to the Earth Tree. Or, I mean, if we consider the beginning cutscene, apparently they resurrected like a lot of people. I mean, that looked like literally hundreds of people. So maybe that's also a reason why they quote-unquote store them like this, so that they potentially can be resurrected at some point. I mean, now it doesn't really look like that would be the case anymore since they're skeletons, but, you know, maybe that was the original intention of this place, to keep the bodies sort of out of harm's way and then be able to resurrect them at some point. I wonder why they look so different, like from their... They all look very similar. The ones with the crowns, the statue that pointed us towards this place, and these ghosts look very similar from their stature, right? But they all have like different crowns and different sort of other things attached to them. I wonder how they are connected or what that thing is. Also, why do the other player characters look like these ghosts? That's eerily similar, right? So are other players sort of meant to be memories of like past or future Tarnished that have visited this place? That might also be a very cool sort of connection. But yeah, I am a little bit cut short here. I do want to take a lunch break as well, obviously, but I do have to stop at this point. Obviously, Elden Ring's going to return. I will be back in about an hour or two, depending, and then we'll continue this place. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. But until then, I hope you had a lot of fun. I certainly did. This game is really incredible so far. It does a couple of things that I'm still on the fence about, but the things that it does right, it does exceptionally well. So yeah, I hope we'll see you back on the next one again. In about 1 or 2 hours, I will be live again with more Elden Ring, and then hopefully with a much longer stream than this. And I hope I'll see you there. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you are. And until then, See you. Bye bye.